how to learn Neuro-linguistic programming, otherwise known as NLP. Stay tuned. This is Damon Cart from NLP Gym, How to Learn NLP. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Before I get into how to learn NLP, I've been getting a lot of inquiries about my NLP online practitioner training that's coming up. The enrollment opens January 6th, and people have been asking about the price and how to get signed on right now. Actually, you cannot sign up yet, and I haven't released the price yet, so please be patient and just know that on January 6th, you can sign up, you can enroll. The enrollment will last 2 weeks. It'll be from January 6th to January 20th. In the meantime though, if you want to start NLP training right now for free, you can go to my website, nlp-gym.com, and there you can sign up for free sensory acuity training. This is one of the fundamental aspects of NLP that a lot of people overlook, but you absolutely positively have to learn sensory acuity and calibration, and this is a free training. It gets emailed to you daily for 30 days. Take advantage of it. When I first learned about NLP, I was in college and I had a professor who taught the philosophy of psychology, and he introduced NLP and hypnosis in that class, and he actually had us using it by the time the class was over, and it was fascinating, and I realized right then how powerful it was, but I didn't have anybody to teach it to me. There was nobody in New Orleans at the time that's where I was going to college. There was nobody there teaching it, and even if I could have learned from someone, it probably would have been too expensive. Fast forward several years, and I'm living in Santa Cruz. I just moved here. Actually, when I was moving here and I was researching Santa Cruz is when I realized that Santa Cruz is where NLP was actually created. So I thought, wonderful, there'll probably be an NLP institute on every corner, and I'm going to learn NLP once I moved to Santa Cruz. Well, that turned out not to be the case. It turned out that there was only one institute, and it only functioned during the summer, and it wasn't very well advertised, so I didn't even know about it. So how to learn NLP when you don't have a place to do it? You don't have an institute nearby, or maybe it's too expensive. Eventually, what I ended up doing after a few years is I saved up some money, I justified the expense, and I embarked on my NLP journey, and I started taking the courses actually when I really didn't even have the money to do it. And I'm not advocating that you go into debt or put yourself into any serious financial debt or any sort of burden on yourself like that to do your NLP training. There's ways to get around that. Also, if you really want it, if you really want to learn NLP, you will find a way, and that's exactly what happened for me. And so I did go into a little bit of debt to do it, but I paid it all off, and I actually, from using NLP, from what I learned of NLP and implementing it in my business, I was actually to make my money back. So it turned out to be a wonderful investment. But I get this question a lot, is how do I learn it when there's no institute nearby me? Damon, I'd love to train with you. I'd love to take your practitioner course, but I can't fly to California 8 times over 8 months. I completely understand. Not just the expense of attending an institute, there's also the travel expense, and you might have to stay in a hotel and flights and everything, so it gets very, very expensive. I know what it's like when you want to learn NLP and you can't afford it, or it's not logistically possible. This is what I encountered when I was in college, and I really wanted to learn NLP, but there was just no way. And I hate to think about it, but I didn't start learning NLP until I was 34. If I had learned NLP in my early 20s, life would have been so different, and it would have been, in so many ways, so much better. But I don't want to get wrapped up in thinking that way. Things happen as they happen, and I took advantage of the opportunity when I had that opportunity, which is when I was 34 years old. So I started my first NLP training, and immediately after the first training, I understood that I didn't really know NLP. I saw it demonstrated for me by great teachers, and I practiced it once with a practice partner during the training, but I knew that I didn't really know NLP. And this really comes from my yoga background. When I started doing Ashtanga yoga, the teacher said, you need to practice 5 to 6 days a week. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to do that. And suddenly I found myself practicing 5 to 6 days a week because I felt that pull, I felt that potential, I felt my energy growing with that. with the practice, and I also could see how much better I was getting. And then when it came to learning NLP, I implemented the same tool, or the same approach. I started practicing every single day. I took my manual that I got from my first practitioner training, and I went through it 3 times, read the whole thing 3 times, and as I was going through it, every single time, I practiced every single exercise on myself. I applied the process to myself, and I also had a practice partner, and I did the practice with them, and I also started a practice group, and I would do the exercises with the practice group. I started my practice group before I even took my first NLP training, because I have people tell me all the time, well, I can't start a practice group. When I encourage them to do that, they say, no, I can't do that. And I'll say, well, why not? And they say, well, I'm not as skilled as you are. I'm not as knowledgeable as you are. And I always laugh because I did not start my practice group after my training. I started it before, which means you can do that too. And you can find a practice partner, and you can start with just books, or you can start with a free program on my website. There's no real secret to it. It's like anything else. You have to practice it. And the great thing about NLP is you can practice on yourself, and you will get better by practicing on yourself. And you can find practice partners. There are people out there who are interested in this as well. Find a regular practice partner and practice once a week. And put together a group so you can practice with different people. The more you do this, the easier it will become to practice NLP when people don't even know that's what you're doing. You can do sensory acuity and calibration with people every single day, every interaction that you have, and the person won't even know that you're doing it. You can practice language patterns. Nearly everything you learn in NLP can be done covertly without people knowing that you're actually doing it. So you can practice NLP every day with every single person you encounter. So what if you tried learning from books and you say, it just doesn't work, I'm not getting it. That's understandable. It's really difficult to learn NLP from books. And what if you say, well, I don't have an institute, I don't have a training, there's nobody around who is teaching it. I understand completely. I was there before as well. This is why I decided when I started NLP Gym, the whole idea, the main idea behind it, was to make NLP available for as many people as possible, because I know how much I benefited from NLP, and I know how much everyone can benefit from learning NLP. So I wanted to make it accessible, and the idea behind the gym is, as I mentioned, this is like working out. It's like yoga. It's like lifting weights. It's like any type of exercise. You can't just read a book or watch videos and expect to learn NLP. You can't watch videos and read a book on yoga or lifting weights and expect to get stronger and more flexible and more balanced. It doesn't work that way. You have to create a regular practice. Even if that practice is only 15 minutes a day, I recommend an hour to 2 hours a day. But if you can only do 15 minutes a day is better than 3 hours 1 day a week. I recommend that you take advantage of all the free resources around you, like books, like my videos and other NLP videos on YouTube, and also the free training that I put out there that's on my website, and the free training that anybody might give you. Take advantage of those resources, and check out my online training coming up, my online practitioner training. It's not nearly as expensive as the first practitioner training that I did, so it's a lot less expensive. And sure, it's better to learn in person, but I've done the best that I can in creating this program so that you can get the most out of it and get the most benefit out of it. When you sign up, I do live coaching calls, 2 live coaching calls a month, where you get to ask questions and I'll answer them for you live. If you sign up in the first week, when I open registration, when I open enrollment, you will get a free one-on-one coaching session with me. The main way to learn NLP is just to practice it daily and learn from as many sources as you possibly can, whether they're free or you have to pay for them. Just learn as much as you can, practice every day, get a practice partner, practice on yourself every day, practice with your partner weekly, and practice with a group. You just want to be practicing with different people, and then also practice when people aren't aware that you're practicing. When you're just having normal conversations day to day, you can practice your NLP skills. Make it a point to do this, and after a month, you'll see major differences in your abilities. After 12 months, you're going to see extraordinary differences in your life, in your communication, and in your relationships. Check out my website, nlp-gym.com. Follow me on Facebook for real-time updates on upcoming trainings and practice sessions and talks that I'll be giving. And when you're on my website, remember to take advantage of the free training that I offer on the website. It's at nlp-gym.com. Also, take advantage of this YouTube channel. I give away a lot of free information. Remember to subscribe right down here. And if you like this video, please click like. Also, if you have a question about NLP or just a comment, please do make that comment or question right down here. I will respond to you. If you really want to learn NLP, remember to look out for my NLP Practitioner training. It's an online version. You can access it instantly once enrollment starts. That enrollment, like I mentioned, starts January 6th. And it'll last through the 20th, so there's 2 weeks, the 2-week period where you can sign up and enroll with the program. And like I mentioned, if you do it in the first week, you'll get a free one-on-one coaching session with me, and then everyone gets access to the free Facebook. It's a closed group. It's for people who have signed up for this training. So there's already a community there, and if you have questions or comments, you can make those questions or comments in the closed Facebook group, and people or myself or other members will help you answer those questions for you. If you haven't already embarked on your NLP journey, I hope you start now, and let me know if I can help you out. Take care.